So my name is Zorenzo. I'm a singer-songwriter from Miami, Florida. I am a neo soul, R&B, jazz, classical artist. That's how I describe myself. I don't really like to put myself into a genre. If I had to describe my sound, I would say it's raspy, classical, timeless soul.
My skin is brown. My hair is part woolly, part wavy, wavy. My teeth are gold. And your daughter wanna have my babies. What do they call me?
So it all started in the metaverse, in Hardy World of Spades on Horizon World, in the Black Spade Room. I met this lovely woman whose username was Sika, the nicest person there. Treated me like family, and she found out about my music. Went on my Instagram page, heard a song that she heard on the radio before, and realized that it was my song. She introduced me to her son, Deliano, who had a dope opportunity with Capita Productions. They throw like this annual play called We Are the Drum. And she felt like my voice would be a real good fit for what they were doing over there.
Opportunities knocking at your door. Don't be afraid to let it in. Your Grammys are waiting for you to claim that they're yours. I hope you're ready to win.
So the vibe of Media Day morning was kind of crazy. It was like people everywhere, scattered all around, all types of different conversations. So when I got my call time for the interview at 8:50, I was counting the minutes down from 7 o'clock all the way to 8:50, hoping, because I'm going live. Everything was just slow. It was just do, 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 heartbeat, just heartbeat. I felt like I was going to forget what to say. I felt like I forgot my name and everything. But the second the camera started rolling and I heard the news anchor's voice and he was asking me the questions, everything just turned on. Everything just came back to me.
Lost and found, I'm lost and I don't know how.
So immediately after going live, I had to jump right into rehearsing. I got a background singers do that. Freedom, who let your freedom ring? So my mind was all over the place. I got everybody that I needed to get together because I had to turn my snippets into live performances. My people, rise with me. My beautiful black people, rise with me. I had background singers at my disposal, a camera crew. Shouts out to Omniverse. Lighting, sound. I had to put all of that into a show. I had to turn all of that into a live performance. So it went from in my head to in the studio to on stage now. And I had to make it all work. I had to trust other people to make it, a full performance. And I struggle with that. I struggle with allowing other people to be a part of, something that means a lot to me. Because if they're not as passionate about their role that they play in it as me, then it's all like downhill for me.
I have one question, boo.
Ooh, shouts out to Vogue. Shouts out to Thomas. Shouts out to all the dancers. Shouts out to Monty. Shouts out to Cartier. All the singers, they had my back, man. They had my back throughout the whole process. Anything I needed, they were there. And the beautiful thing about the whole experience with the dancers, the singers, the actors, actresses, they all could sing. So working with the voices of We Are the Drum, on teaching them my parts, teaching them my music, the harmonies and everything, that had to be like the most liberating experience for me. Honestly, I really felt it made me want to be a music teacher. Two. And the word is feet. Y'all saying E and they saying E. But I'm gonna say E. E. Oh, E. Okay. Yeah, the vowels E. One, two. Yeah, one, y'all. E. One, two. E. Okay, so this is how it goes. Stand to your feet. Stand to your feet. Everybody was just, they were just welcoming, inviting. I could tell that their ears were tuned to everything. It was really good. So meeting with Capita for the first time, it was rather interesting because a lot of the board members reminded me of family members. Like meeting Mr. KC was almost like I had already met him before. He reminded me of like my uncle, like within a handshake. I felt the vibes. I felt the vibes. I'm like, it's family. I'm at home. I'm at home. I don't really got nothing to worry about. He introduced me to Mr. Howe, the principal at Marshall High, and same feeling. Was shaking his hand. He felt like a dad, an uncle. Like it was all family. It felt, yeah. I felt the embrace immediately. It was lit. It was dope. So organizing the show, I mean, as far as lights and sound goes, Brian was on lights, Dan was on sound. My first words to Brian was, show me what this board can do. That was my first words to Brian. He was like, you sure you ready for that? He hit the button and just let me know, let me see right before my eyes everything that board was all capable of doing. I knew exactly how far I could push and everything. So that was rather dope.
People running for cover. People fighting for peace. Every day someone's dying at the hands of the police.
So night one of the first public show was crazy. It was crazy because I had just found out that the show was sold out. I only had one thought, it's time for Zorenzo to show up. That little chant that was in my head when I first entered Milwaukee, full activation, full activation. Zorenzo, it is time to show up.
My people rise with me.
I'm a very particular artist, and I had this song, well, I have this song called RiSE that I presented for We Are the Drum. And I only saw it happening one way. I only saw it happen in one way, and that's shirtless. So I had to ask Mr. KC for permission to perform this song shirtless and barefoot as well. And when I asked him, his eyes got so big. He was like, well, let me see, let me see, let me see, let me see. So once he saw the costume, he was like, you know what, go ahead and do that. That's African. But when I performed it on day one, he really saw like how, when he saw how everything came together, he was like, that was a nice touch. That was a nice touch. You're a real artist. I respect that. So one of the most impactful things that came out of working with Capita was the effect that I had on the youth. There was so many young, aspiring artists, dancers, possibly videographers, stylists, photographers. You know, they're the future, so you don't know what could come from out of inspiring those children. I had kids coming up to me saying that they watch my videos, that they subscribed to my YouTube, that they wanted me to sign their hoodies, that they wanted my autograph. How long have I been doing music? If they wanted to do music, how should they go about it? Their parents coming up to me saying that they their kids were singing the songs all night long, watching the video, that they had to tell them the Trayvon Martin story because it took place about 12 years ago. So these were kids that didn't even know the story of Trayvon Martin that had to find out about it. Young Michael, that's my son. That's my son. That is my son. I don't have any kids, so when I have my first child, I hope my first child is just like Lil Michael. That's my son right there. He's so talented, so young, so talented to remember all those dance steps, all those moves. And he remembered the whole show. Like, he reminded me of a young Fresh Prince, like a young Will Smith. He's gonna be something huge. Shouts out to Lil Michael. You're amazing, man. Keep on rocking. He is dope.
Yeah, I heard you on the radio. I seen you in the videos, but I tried not to.
Okay, so the night before the encore show of We Are the Drum, Miss Eunice and Mr. KC saw fit for me to do a meet and greet and an autograph signing and the signing of the hoodies because they had been getting comments on their Facebook page that people loved the song and everything. So they saw it fitting for me to do an autograph signing. What it meant to me for everyone to sign my poster, it meant the world. I already have intentions of framing it before I even asked for the autographs. But the fact that everybody lined up, single file line, I had one lady sign all her kids' names on there. I felt like the man in that moment because I had such a short amount of time to convince people that I'm living in my purpose and I'm meant to do this or whatever. So to have, people lining up at that table wanting the signature because they feel like, because they know what it embodies, I actually branded my name. That's what artists do it for. They do it for their name to mean something.
Things will never be the same.
My experiences in Milwaukee, aside from We Are the Drum, there weren't many because my days were like all picked out for me. So I didn't have much time, but in the little time that I did have, it snowed twice, which is something I'm not used to being from Miami where it's always hot and it doesn't snow. That snow threw me off. And I actually, I got to check something off my bucket list, which was falling in the snow. I slipped and fell flat on my back in the snow. Caught me off guard, but I always wanted to fall in the snow. I don't know if that makes sense to y'all, but that's something that was on my bucket list, to bust my behind in the snow, and it actually, it happened. It happened. I respect Milwaukee as a place that I can come into and feel at home whenever I come. From my first time walking on the stage, singing my first note, and hearing the woos and the oh yeah, and the clapping from my first note, like that always gives it away to me. Like when I perform in a specific place that's not home, and from the first note I hear the woos and the ohs and the uhs, that's when I know these are my people. These are my people. I can rock here. So